Well, hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I am the Dungeon Master for our amazing Dungeons & Dragons campaign, the Tyranny of Dragons. But this campaign is not about me. It's about the wonderful players who join me each and every time we boot up the old stream. Please introduce yourselves, lovely players.
Hello, my name's Claire. I'm playing Mira, the Dragonborn Sorcerer. Half silver dragon, half red dragon. Fond of fireballs. Got a badass new eye. Yeah, she's basically a pirate now. Yeah.
I'm going to use that as your when we do the recorded intros. I'm using that. That's what I'm going to use, if that's okay.
Using that.
It's fucking amazing.
Basically a pirate.
Yeah.
A pirate. And a spy pirate. That's
Hello, I'm Claire. I'm playing Mira, basically a pirate. A spirate. Oh, that's good. Save that material for another player. Amazing. And we're also joined by Michael.
Hello, I'm Michael, and I'm playing Lockie Hobbs, the clockwork Warforged Artificer that was recently living for a few hundred years in a city that is now crashed into the ground. And I also now am a pirate.
I feel like you guys are just handing out the title of pirate without having earned it, but that's okay.
We did just sink a ship.
We did sink the ship. We didn't. We got booty.
Yar, me name is Swabby Seabeard, and I be the real pirate.
And then your actual character?
Swabby Seabeard, at your service.
No. That's the character.
Okay.
That's the character your character's playing. I want to know about the character.
So, my name is Jared, everyone. And I'm playing the character of Jin, aka Swabby Seabeard, aka a bunch of other personas I've had. And yeah, he's the party's changeling. Sort of a spy background, sort of does a lot of subterfuge missions and all that. And yeah, he's currently on a mission with the Tempest Guild. Now only like one member of the Tempest Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to get a few inductees into that actually. Beef up the numbers again. But so yeah, and Jin's part of the Bard's College, helping out the Harpers with a mission to basically save the world from Tiamat. And
That's exactly
yeah.
right. The way I kind of see Jin is you're almost like a method actor who takes it too far sometimes. You're like the Jared Leto of the Bard world.
Ironically, Jared Leto's,
Wow.
you know, I'm Jared, he's Jared, we're both spelt the exact same way, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost that's why I used him as my example rather than the numerous other actors who decide to go full douchebag and decide to go method acting.
What, you don't like Swabby Seabeard?
I love Swabby Seabeard. I love
Thank
Swabby
you.
Seabeard so much, but I can't
He's
wait
gonna
until we're
be-
back on dry land.
I think I might just keep up that persona.
Fantastic. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, just make the
Cross campaigns.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get rid of Jin and then just have an actual character called Swabby Seabeard.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait. Well,
No,
thank you
I
everybody
couldn't
for...
do that. I couldn't do
couldn't do
that
that?
over campaign. That would kill my voice.
Yeah, that would kill your voice. I can't imagine what it'd be like to have to do voices like that all the time. Yes, so thank you for joining us, everybody. This is not our normal night for Dungeons & Dragons. Normally we operate on a Wednesday night. However, our Swabby Seabeard's salt of the earth companion here, Jared, it was his birthday yesterday. So everybody wish Jared a happy birthday.
Woo! Happy
birthday.
birthday!
But take it back, it's not your birthday
Happy
anymore. So we
birthday,
don't care.
Jared.
No, we don't care. We don't care. It's not your birthday anymore. We don't care. So we decided to let him have his birthday night off of D&D, and that's why we're doing things tonight instead. So yeah, please jump on Twitter and wish Jared a happy birthday. Except don't actually, because it's not his birthday anymore, so he doesn't deserve it. You
I
gotta wait
also
till
don't
next
have
year.
Twitter, so I won't see it.
I was thinking on the Lost Archives, but actually no.
No, you
we
can
don't
definitely
want
do it. I won't see it anyway.
Nah, we don't. No, don't do it. He doesn't
Thousands
deserve it.
of adoring fans will
Yeah, no, his
wish me a
birthday's
happy
passed.
birthday, and I won't know.
And everyone's unsubscribed. That was crazy. Look at that.
Oh, man.
I've got no crazy news at the moment. Everything's been traveling kind of well. I'm very excited for a Witcher board game Kickstarter, which I've gone all in on. The hype has been real. That's been my week basically, is just getting hyped for this Witcher board game that's on Kickstarter. Which is going to cost me like €200, but whatever. Look, I'm probably going to play every single night for the next 6 years, so it'll be worth it.
How much is €200 in Oz?
It's about 330, I think.
Whew, not bad.
Yeah, she's an expensive game. Hopefully Alice isn't watching right now. I told her it was a bit less than that because when I first jumped on it was, and then I've upgraded my pledge to get the special like miniatures and the neoprene board and all the Kickstarter stuff that gets added on that they suck you in with all these beautiful artworks and things like that. But I thoroughly recommend checking it out if you want to get on a Kickstarter. This one's already been finalized. I think their goal was 400,000. They're currently at 7 million, so they just about hit target.
Silly.
Wow,
It's just so silly.
It's just hit target, so it's a pretty safe investment if you want the board game. Not sponsored, unfortunately. I'd love to be. Well, I think we should probably do a recap and get into the story. Azure, Mira, Wiltix, and Jin are the founding members of the Tempest Adventuring Guild, a brand new group dedicated to solving mysteries, thwarting schemes, and obtaining as much treasure while doing so.
Well, not yet.
Well, no. This campaign has been following the escapades of these heroes and their efforts to fight a cult known as the Order of the Dragon, a group dedicated to the resurrection of Tiamat, an evil betrayer god. Having travelled much of the land of Oshia, defeated many foes, and successfully infiltrated the ranks of the cult, the group have found themselves aboard an ancient flying castle used by the cult as a base of operations. After damaging the control matrix essential for powering and flying the castle, Rezimir, one of the cult leaders, has fled the castle on the back of a white dragon, Glazhael, with most of the cult who were occupying the castle following close behind in airships. With the castle now mostly abandoned, the party began exploring and discovered an ancient warforged named Lockie and his companion Lyra, an elf who had been sealed in a magic box. Sensing the potential these new allies offered the guild, the party has grown by 2, and the new party set off to clear the remaining rooms of the castle. Reaching the engine room, the party discovered that Sandacel, an ancient vampire who'd been living in one of the upper towers of the castle, had taken control and commandeered the upper keep, detaching and flying off on it. With the castle now crashing towards the ground, the party were forced to jump for safety, trusting in some featherfall tokens to prevent becoming pancakes. After a bumpy landing, the party travelled to the nearby town of Kerwell, a river trade post filled with a varied band of sailors and traders, spending the night in the sunken barge owned by Tabaxi and his Aarakocra partner. The party had a moment of quiet, enjoying some drinks, some food, and a bit of downtime to discuss their plans heading forwards. Deciding to head to the capital of Paelan as their next port of call, the party took a barge during the day to make their way to the city. However, along the route, the boat was ambushed and attacked by river pirates. The party quickly showed off their new skills and magic. Lyra summoning a whirlpool to damage and suck the boat towards the bottom of the ocean. Lockie shrinking the boat using enlarge and reduce, causing a number of the pirates to fall overboard and into the water. Jin creating a dazzling array of colours and lights, causing many of the pirates to be stunned, allowing for that a lot of that magic to go off. And then finally Mira with the classic fireball pew pew, destroying the boat and dumping the majority of the pirates into the icy cold depths of the river.
Yeah.
The party now stand on the edge, on the deck of the boat. One pirate captured, the rest scattered and dropped into the dark waters. We last left off literally as that pirate was being roped and chained by the guards. The sailors who were on the boat, dressed in sort of slightly more than just rags, dressed in actual armour and the semblance of weapons. They begin roping his hands, tying them behind his back, as the pirate is gagged and then brought below deck, leaving you free to explore the upper decks. Is there anything you guys would like to do as they begin frog marching this pirate off towards the bilge?
I mean, did we think he had any information we would look? Because now is possibly the time while he's bound and gagged and otherwise bruised.
Seemed like a common cutthroat to me, but maybe.
I mean, sure. It's fine. Let him brought below deck, I suppose. How's the boat? No, the ship looking. It's
The ship that you guys are on.
Yeah.
A few scorch marks on the side of the bow where Mira's fireball sort of grazed the top of the railing as she threw it out. But apart from that, the ship's in remarkably good condition. You can see that one of the metal rods that is powering its movement across the water is swaying a little bit, almost like the propeller underneath had contacted something in the water.
Whoa!
Moments
What?
ago.
I wonder what.
Yeah. Almost, yeah. As they begin leading this guy below deck, they then disappear from sight as they take this man below deck.
As Lockie said that if that guy might have any information to go, well, Swabby, I'm Swabby, Lockie, you can always go down there and check and see if there's any information that you can gather.
I mean, I probably could. I'm not very good at extracting information from people, but I could get. I don't know. What would you do in this situation? This is supposedly your expertise.
Well, I guess they're just river pirates. Nothing else to it. Common banditry.
Sure, but that's still an assumption, I feel like.
That is definitely an assumption.
Well, if you don't think there's anything there, like I said, you're the master spies. I'm just following along.
What do you mean, master of spies? I'm a pirate.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're the master pirate.
Pirate?
Yes, you're the master pirate. Like I said, I'm just following along. It's fine. Actually, that beam over there is looking a little wobbly. Does it look like it's going to detach or suffer any more damage if it's left unchecked?
Ooh, that sounds like an investigation. Yeah, I'd say an investigation check. Well, I'd allow perception. Investigation or perception.
I think I'll take investigation. 14.
No, you think that it's not in any danger of falling or it's not in any danger of failing. Just definitely came into contact with something in the water, but it is designed to be a bit more sturdy than that. The cage in front is to protect the internal workings should it come into contact with flotsam or jetsam on the surface of the water. But you do notice there's a couple of red splotches, almost like something coloured red, some red liquid splashed up from the front of the cage and splattered onto the arm, the boom of this particular paddle.
Well, okay, I guess it's fine. It does look like I've got some pirate juice on it, but
pirate juice. I love it. It's fantastic.
Is there, on the top deck, is there anybody that looks a little bit more unique than the common sailors? Because there's a few portraits here that suggest that.
Absolutely. Yeah. As you have a bit of a look around, you can see that there are a number of nobles, common folk who are sort of hiding and cowering near the captain's cabin. You can see that just towards the mast, there seems to be some sort of bowman, or bowwoman, I should say, who looks to be possibly a wood elf, wielding a very beautifully carved longbow, who whipped out her bow when the combat started and was sort of eyeing off a number of the pirates, but did not fire upon them until they boarded the deck. She wasn't shooting at them until they were actually on board. And then at the back of the boat, obviously, you've got the captain and the first mate, who are currently sort of like still steering the boat and looking around a little bit. The captain sort of locks eyes with you guys and gives you all a bit of a nod, but doesn't walk over or say anything. He's happy just to let you know his approval from afar.
But no one's freaking out that we just cast a multitude of high-level spells?
No. You guys are near the capital city of Paelan, which is home to a number of the Bard's College, for one, who often cast crazy magics, the airships that fly in and out. This isn't a place that where, I mean, definitely there's like a nod of approval of like, yes, that was well done, very nice. But I mean, you've not cast anything insane like
I guess we have
summon elementals or. No, I mean, the whirlpool the captain would have seen and immediately started to compensate for. That probably would have been the most impressive spell. Fireball, pretty standard spell. Dazzling colours, again. Maybe the Enlarge Reduce, actually. Probably the Enlarge Reduce would have been the most out there spell they've seen to be used in that fashion.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm not too fussed with actually talking to the pirate. So Jin...
No, that's fine.
Jin's just sort of gonna wander over to this, just to the wall, sort of, and just sort of slump down and start pulling out some. You'd just be pulling out some like drinks or rations or something, and just sort of easing back into the into the flow of the journey. He might start some more sea shanties that he's started to pick up on now, so he can sort of start them and get the sailors going again.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense that he would do that.
Just sort of join in with the rockers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what Jin's going to do. Well, Swabby Seabeard.
Yes, Swabby Seabeard. What about you, Mira? What are you doing while this is happening?
I think Mira will just go back to where she was before and keep an eye out, because that kind of helped a little bit. So she'll go back to the...
Yeah, that did actually, yeah.
Yeah, the what's the front of the ship called again?
Bow.
The
Bow.
prow.
Prow,
I believe.
prow of the ship, and sit at the front and watch out for more.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you want to make me another perception check as you begin your sort of watch?
16. Ooh, we're dark again.
16. You're dark
Yeah.
again? What do you mean? What?
Yes. I just turned dynamic lighting on. I just got it then.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hang on. What can you guys see? There shouldn't be dynamic lighting on.
Yeah, I just turned it on there.
Oh, there is
Not
actually a little bit of dynamic lighting.
It's actually kind of cool because I can see for the first time my area.
Oh. Huh. I don't know how that happened. I didn't do that. Oh, we've got
Being
a
hacked!
big follow this. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, gosh. It's clearly clearly Simon's in here mucking around with the settings again.
Yes.
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 16, Mira. As you have a bit of a look out and begin sort of looking over, trying to spy any particular dangers or things, you don't see anything immediately leaping out at you. The water seems calm. Since the whirlpool was summoned, the water does seem calm. It seems fairly quiet. You don't get the sense of any sort of danger from the water, at least for the moment. So you see no other vessels apart from a few very small fishing boats. And when I say small fishing boats, I mean like tiny little rafts. Probably none of them even have sails. They're just very small fishing boats. But the water seems calm and quiet and pleasant. Looking back, you can see a few areas in the water that seem a bit darker red, almost like some sort of liquid, some dark red liquid had suddenly entered the water, but I'm not too sure what that's about.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, we'll just keep an eye out for Paelan, because she's very excited to get back to the big city.
Yeah, especially because that was your home for many years. That you're from Paelan originally. Fantastic. Swabby, your performance check, is that for, or I should say Jin, your performance check, is that for sea shanties and things like that?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I just didn't need to tell you that. I didn't need to cut off there.
17, yeah, as you begin launching into some sea shanties, the crew, while somewhat concerned and a little bit spooked by the events of the Gesundheit, spooked by the events of the pirate raid, the river raid, they are sort of getting back to their normal duties, and the noble couple and commoners begin emerging back on deck, seemingly a little bit spooked, but happy to be back in safety. And then there is a bit of a general consensus, not the same level of join in that there was before, but people begin sort of joining in and singing along with your sea shanty. Not reluctantly, just a little bit quiet.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make everyone feel a bit at ease.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wipe the blood off, Fine.
Yeah. There is a little bit of sadness as one of the sailors comes over and retrieves the body of his friend and takes that below deck, sort of carries him down very reverently. No tears, just silence, somber silence as he takes his friend's body downstairs.
While he does that, as a sign of respect, I wouldn't do a sea shanty while they do that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Way hey up she rises. What do we do with the drunken sailor?
Oh no!
What do we do
Take
with
him
the
into the
dead
brig
sailor?
until he's sober.
Yeah. What do we do with the dead sailor? No. We
Put him in the
don't
brig
say
until he's resurrected.
Oh my god.
That makes sense.
Fantastic. And Lockie, what would you be doing while this is going on?
Well, he's just going to remove his armor, put it back in the stack and look over little bits and pieces, because it did sustain him just a little bit of damage. So, just make sure his gears and wheels and some of his joints are still working
absolutely.
properly and full movement, stuff like that.
100%. Fantastic. Well, I think what we'll do then is we'll do a little bit of time skip. We shall move forward as time moves forward. After another couple of hours at the front of the boat, looking out, Mira is the first one to spy the familiar spires of her homeland, of her home city, Paelan, capital of the Ocean Empire, first of the cities to survive the calamity, to survive the ruin, and home of a multitude of people from all walks of life, from various races. You are approaching from the... it'd be approaching from the east in this particular city map.
Yep.
As north is at the top there. So the river sort of comes around a corner, and Mira, you begin spying the familiar branching areas of farmland that make up the district outside the city as you pass through Bankstown, which is a very popular traders' port. A number of the canals that lead out of this area go to a multitude of villages and settlements all over the eastern side of Oceania, taking goods to and from the capital city. The riverboat sort of chugs along, having to give way to other craft in the water now, as the small fishing boats give way to other barges, and occasionally another large catamaran like what you guys are on now, the catamaran that sort of rises out of the water and powers forward, powered by magic. As you pass underneath the main gateway into the canal thoroughfare, passing through the green fieldings and the canal district, you enter into the city itself. The large stone walls on either side, beautifully carved of a rich white marble, the trademark sign of Paelan. The boat takes you through, over towards the inner market district, where you arrive at a large bridge. The boat docks, and all of the passengers are gestured to leave. As you begin walking down the gangway, the captain walks towards you purposefully. Right. I believe thank you is in order for your timely intervention of our somewhat untimely river raid. Captain Tecton, my thanks be to you.
You're welcome. Always good to put pirates in their place, eh?
Send them down to the bottom of the river is what I do.
Davy Jones' locker.
Nope.
For the ocean. For here, it's
Whatever.
the muddy banks. You
Whatever
can see
your
the captain...
equivalent of Davy Jones' locker, I'll say that.
Gravy bones, gawker. No. You can see that the captain is dressed in a very long brown leather trench coat that is covered with a multitude of pockets. That a number of them you can see little fly fishing lures poking out from the pockets, some hooks, as well as filleting knives, daggers, and a number of other sort of more practical things that a man on the ocean or a man on the river might need for his day-to-day life. I just wanted to thank you for your work.
Just
You're
doing
welcome
it.
to...
You're very
Wonderful. You are welcome to travel on my barge anytime. Anytime. It
For
gives you a
free.
Not for free.
I tried.
At a discounted rate we could do.
That sounds like a plan. Swabby Seabeard would be happy to travel anytime on your barge.
He gives you a nod, and then begins heading back. Booker! Make sure the midden sail is avast. We prepare to depart immediately. You see the first mate give a salute and then rush down the gangway. This dark-haired woman with these bundling curls of black hair with a single white stripe leading from her forehead all the way back, curled up and around, begins moving through the areas, shouting orders to the sailors to get them on board, get them ready. There would be time for greeting later. They still have a job to do for today. And with that, you are now on the shores of the river in the capital city of Paelan. Mira, you have a fair bit of knowledge about Paelan, having lived here for many, many years. You know that you are currently in the inner market district, a large district full of traders, shops, artisans, craftsmen. You know that the area that you probably want to head to, possibly you might want to head to the Bright Bell Borough, which is district number 3. That is where the Bard's College is located in the Brightbelt Borough.
So I would also know all this.
You would also know this. You know that the airship docks are located just around the bend in the river from where you guys are at District 14. That's the airship docks there. Across the river, down in District 11, you've got the Southgate, which is more sort of residential areas. And then you've got the Empyrean, which is the seat of the Ocean Empire, number 1 there, which is its own walled-off castle. Probably to get into there, you're going to have a very good reason and know some members of the nobility.
That's the Imperium.
The Imperium. Yeah. Castletown, there's a number of politicians and other up and coming members of the nobility live in Castletown, which is sort of the area just outside the Imperium and next to the Bard's College. There's also the Bell District, which is more sort of well-to-do craftsmen and things like that. But yeah, you guys are currently in the Inner Market District, which is number 9 on that map. I will zoom in so that people can see.
I have to say, Owen, Paelan map is actually looking pretty cool.
Thank you very much.
I don't think this was like this last time.
No.
I've done some updates.
It does look really nice.
Always updating, Wazowski. Always updating.
I'm glad that Bankstown is represented. It makes me.
Bankstown?
Yeah.
Bankstown?
Yeah,
that's right. Bankstown.
Yeah.
This is actually a lovely location, Bankstown, unlike the real one. No.
Well,
yeah.
I think we should probably head to the Bard's College because we've got to give a report. Jin has to give a report. But as a court functionary, I do have access. It says I have access to inner workings of any noble court of government, so I know
absolutely
who to go to if we want to get in a bit closer. But I feel
Mira.
like probably that would be the Bard's College for this particular.
Actually, you
probably go in the Harpers,
know
actually.
a little bit more. Mira, you know a little bit more with your background. I forgot you were from that background. You would know that there are a couple of people who would be very interested in the news that you would bring and are very much in positions of power and positions of influence. You know that a number of lords within the city have formed something called the Lords' Alliance. This is not something that is spoken about openly. This is not something that they ever want to acknowledge, but a number of the major to moderate nobility have formed their own guild, essentially, called the Lords' Alliance, an organization of rulers and nobles who want to take control of the empire, but not through any violent or bloody means, more political means. There would be a few people that you would have interacted with during your time as a spy and as a diplomat. Not so much a spy, more a diplomat. You would know that the Lady Larel... Attaché, yeah. The Lady Larel Silverhand is one of the very important members of the Lord's Alliance in the city of Paelan. She is a human. She has knowledge of magic. She trained at the Oxenfurt Unseen University, the Oxenfurt Academy. She has trained in the arts of magic. You know that she has a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, including control of the Paelan army. She has a lot of access. Nice. A number of the generals, a number of the commanders owe their allegiance and their position to Lady Laurel Silverhand. She is very much up and coming. You would also know that Lord Dagult Neverember, or Duke Dagult, is another member of the Lord's Alliance who is very powerful. He holds a number of titles in a number of different locations. In Paelan, he is definitely quite well known. You would know that he has a lot of access to his own private army called the Neverember Troops, as well as deep pockets for mercenaries as well. You would definitely know of him. You also know, the Harpers are a group of bards, essentially. They're a group of the Bards College who call themselves the Harpers. They're a group of spies within the Bards College. You would have heard of them, definitely, Mira, but absolutely. Jin, you would know a lot more about them, seeing as you are actually one of them. Jin, you would know that the person who you would need to speak to in Paelan would be Ramalia Haventree. She is definitely high up in the order of the Harpers inside the Bard's College. She occupies a researcher position in the Bard's College. However, she is one of the main players inside the Harpers. Definitely one of the leading members in the city of Paelan. So she's definitely someone that you would need to see. Romalia Haventree. But you obviously also know Gloria and Susurrus as well. Gloria being a halfling bard who is a member of the Harpers, who is somewhat bristly and brusque to deal with. You would know that she is quite high up in the Harpers as well. Despite her very bristly personality, she is quite well known in the Harpers and is quite a powerful member of the Harpers. Susurrus is a little bit newer. She is an attaché to Romalia Haventree, just as Mira was an attaché to other members of the court. Mira, you would also know where the embassy for the Dragonborn civilization is as well, where the representation of the Draconic Empires. You would also know where the embassy is. The embassy is in Castletown. They would also be very interested in this as well. I would say, you know for a fact that dragons and Dragonborn would be very interested to know that Tiamat is currently recruiting members to a cult and that are trying to free her. You know for a fact your previous boss would be very keen to hear about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Mira used to work for the embassy specifically, that she might go and tell them about what's been happening as well. Yeah. I think that would be probably after the Harpers, the first people that she talked to, and then she'd probably try and suss out these other two to see, what position, how, what are the resources for the Harpers and what are the resources we've got to keep going or what they want us to kind of do. And yeah, absolutely.
Well, you would know in that case that the person that you worked for at the embassy, the person who probably is in the highest position at the embassy, probably you didn't work for this person directly, but you did have some exposure to them. You would know that person is, so I'm just pulling up my notes. You would know that person uses a human guise called Elia, but their real name is Otalikanos, and they are a silver dragon who disguise themselves in a human form called Elia. Otalikanos.
Yeah. I would be telling everyone this on the way, on the couple of hours barge.
I should add, the fact that Otalikanos is a dragon is kept very secret and not many people know this, just so that you know.
I wouldn't say that, I'd just be like...
Okay, cool.
Just basically what I said before, I'd be like, well...
Yeah.
We should probably get to the Harpers, but there are a couple of other people who would be interested, and I'm a little alarmed. So I think that the Dragonborns should probably know about this. My old boss would be quite interested.
Actually, I'm going to make a slight retcon. I'm actually going to say it makes more sense that Otalikanos would make themselves look like a Dragonborn called Elia, a silver Dragonborn called Elia, and they would stay in that form for most of the time. So, quick retcon, I'm going to keep it as that. So, in that case, you would know them as a Dragonborn, but you know they're a dragon, Mira, because of your background and because of your exposure to them.
Yep. I don't... Yes. Yeah.
So, when we
More
come
dump,
off the boat...
bam!
Yes, there's a lot of political intrigue.
Yeah.
Mira's excited and also really nervous. She's in two minds about this whole situation. As before.
Who could have guessed that Mira would be in two minds for something? The bifurcated wonder herself.
That's right.
That's right.
But so Jin would, when he comes off the boat, he would find somewhere really sort of out of sight, He's going to change from Swabby Seabeard to Lyra and Whisperwind, his go-to persona.
Absolutely. You turn back into your half-elf.
I now have... Yes, so to any new viewers, Lyra and Whisperwind is
the artwork that's up on screen above me right now. That's literally the artwork above me.
So yeah, very sort of fancy clothing, sort of gives off an air.
Oh, we lost the end of that. Sorry, Jared. He gives off an air of what? Sorry. Oh, I think Jared's mic might be playing up.
The mic, he does. No, like whimsy and
yes,
sort of like that sort of hard, sort of happy-go-lucky. Does a lot of like flourishes and has a bit of like elegance to and grace to his step and all that sort of stuff.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that was well timed with the artwork popping up above my head at the same time. Yeah, I'd forgotten. I'm actually quite happy with your artwork, Jared.
It's awesome.
Nice. I'm just
it's
seeing
nice
Mira
to
again too. I'm like,
embroider
oh,
it.
I'm really happy with Mira too. I need to look through these again so that I need to do more drawing. Yeah. So absolutely. So I'd say at this point, Lyra looks over to you guys and goes, "Well, I don't really know anyone here. This city wasn't like this when I was last in this area. It was actually kind of more of a village. I don't actually know where we're going. Lockie, do you recognize any of this?"
I cannot say that I do. It seems like quite a collection of people. Yes.
Are there
It
any
looks like
Warforged? What's a Warforged?
Oh
Druid?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As you have a bit of a look around, you can see that a couple of Warforged are coming up from the docks area. There is a massive Warforged, easily 8-9 feet tall, with 4 massive arms covered in this bulging armor, and a series of... The only way to describe this is what looks like rubber muscles. The shape of muscles created out of this, almost like this black silicate-like rubber that is flexing and twisting as they lift these enormously heavy crates and carry them. Massive Warforged as it just clunks along the street. People move aside very quickly to give it room as it moves along. And you can hear the Warforged under its breath going, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh my, that is much. I'm not. I'm going to level with you. I'm not 100% sure how to take this. Yes, like, sure, I've seen cities and things before, but it's been a long time. And this is quite a large city.
To make it even more confusing, as he starts talking like this, Illyrian, Jin had obviously scampered away somewhere. You start hearing this melody on the air, and then you see this like sort of 6 foot tall, high like half elf. No, he's a high elf, like sort of sort of dancing, skipping along, playing a little tune. Come up to the group,
And that's Jin, as Illyrian.
Yes, but they don't even know who Illyrian is.
No.
Can I do an intelligence check to see if I...
Yeah,
I will go. Hello, friends. Lovely.
I'd say Mira
weather we're
knows.
having
Mira knows who you
today.
are. She's seen this
Yeah,
before.
Mira would know. She's met Illyrian.
Yes. Oh, hello. Are you here to escort us off the ship?
Oh, it's some sort. Look, Lockie. It's some sort of minstrel. We're supposed to give them a copper, I think. Says Lockie.
Oh, I see. I believe I have a copper somewhere that's not, attached to me.
Nice.
Spare your copper, friends. You know me well. I have travelled with you thus far.
Swabby? Says Lockie. Did you shave? Now you're
wink.
just Swabby Cleanbeard.
Clean beard. I just wink and I start playing some tune. So I get my pan flute out and I do like a little melody, and then
What
I
if
just
I was to transform into some animal and you started playing a tune and I dance? Maybe we could get some money.
Oh yes, that could be very good. Maybe get a bear. A bear. A
I
dancing
could be
bear.
a
Now
dancing.
that sounds
I could
very
be a
nice.
dancing bear.
Well, what
Maybe
are we
this
waiting
isn't the
for then?
time for that, though.
No, there's always time for such things.
Frivolities later, yeah.
I start skipping away and start like trying to draw a crowd.
Okay.
So
Mira,
the thing
what are
with-
you doing?
The thing with Jin as well, and actually no, I'll let Mira talk. Sorry.
That's alright, go on.
No, I was just gonna say with Jin, I'm trying to sort of have it though, now that because he's had so many personas, I want him to start sort of losing track of who he actually is,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like, as in like he's got so many personas, he starts sort of losing himself a little bit.
Mira, what would you like to do?
I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking, yes, we are a bit short on funds. And she writes down a list of things that she wants someone to reimburse them for. Considering we're not getting paid for any of this anymore. It's like, I'm meant to be a guild. And she looks around at the other 3 and goes, the guild's
Where am I?
not
Where am I
doing
going?
that great.
Yeah, you guys certainly didn't come across a horde of the Dragon Queen on a flying castle.
Well, that
You
is
guys
You
in
did
poor
know
eyes.
what that is.
What was that? Sorry.
I don't know where that is gone.
Oh, it's in my bag.
It's in a bag of holding.
Oh, you've got it. Okay, good.
There was a lot of gold in that.
There was a
I
lot
just
of
want to say, don't come to me complaining that the DM doesn't give you enough treasure. You have. Scroll back up the chat. I'm going to post in there what was in that again.
It's 5,000 GP,
Yeah, go.
100,000 SP, 500,000 CP. There was a frozen chest with a frozen potion of gaseous form.
Yeah.
1+ longsword, 1+ longbow, 1+ leather armor, and braces of defense, and
What
a
an
bag of
asshole
platinum.
DM. Never hands
And
out treasure.
3 platinum bars, 10 platinum each.
Yeah, sounds like an asshole. Terrible, terrible DM.
I was more thinking about our membership. Because at the moment, Mira's like, I can sit on this pile of gold and be a the Tempest.
just
Be a
a
real
dragon
dragon.
now.
Real-
Yeah, a real dragon. Yeah.
But mainly she's just really nervous, and so she quite likes it that Illyrian is kind of lightening the mood because she's quite nervous about having to go back into this old life again. And she just sighs. Yeah.
Well, my
Would
question
they-
is, where do you guys want to go? Do you want to do some shopping? Do you want to see you can get some new supplies, get yourself kitted out, sell some of this stuff? Do you want to head to one of the locations, Bard's College, Castletown, the Dragonborn Embassy? I think it's Veloxur is the home of the Dragonborn. Yeah, where do you want to go? What do you want
I
to
will
do?
admit, after Lyra sort of said that to Lyra, he started going off on a tangent, but then he's like, wait a second. There's a massive world-shattering event going on. I better actually rein it in, and let's go do some of that stuff first. Then he this stuff later. So I imagine Illyrian will come back to the group a little bit. He's a little not disheartened, but just like a little like sad that he couldn't do a performance. But yeah, he'll come back to the group. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll have a chat and see what people want to do.
I think we should inform your people, Illyrian. They
Yes.
seem best contacts.
I think that would be the way to go. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of things to discuss. Chop, let's get going then. He sort of just walks off.
Sorry, before we go on, could we have had a short rest so I can roll some hit dice?
You can have a short rest on the boat. Of course you can.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I managed
Definitely was
to
time
do
for a
that
short
too.
rest on the boat. Anyone who wants to take a short rest may do so.
I'm pretty sure I don't have to, but yeah, I'll do it.
I will also do that. Good idea. Okay.
Take your short rests while you can before the DM takes your treasure and throws a dragon at you.
A Tarask. Oh man, not a good hit dice. Or
Oh
one.
no, natural
Plus
1 for
two.
3 total.
And
Sorry, Mira.
dang. Oh, I'll take it. Oh, poor sorcerers. No, not damage.
Oh wow, fucking. They're good rolls.
9.
Lockie, 9-9. Fantastic.
9-9.
Yeah, 9-9.
9-9.
9.
That's it.
Okay, so I sent the message to Susurrus.
You did.
So
And
I probably should go
Azure
see
flew off
Susurrus.
Azure flew off ahead as well to go and inform
Yes.
someone.
Don't know who he talked to.
It's
though.
hilarious.
And so did Talari.
And
He said a lot
Talara,
of
don't
people.
know who
Yeah.
he went to talk to
That's
either.
I mean, he was going to go talk to the Harpers. He just ran off somewhere.
So everyone's went to talk to the Harpers, it seems.
I don't know if it was here or another place, but he's run off somewhere.
Cool.
So, to the Bard's
Yeah.
College.
I think so, yes.
All right. Well, Lockie will sort of slink behind the other two that obviously know this place much better than him. He'll sort of stick close to Lyra because I feel like they're both a little bit nervous about it, and sort of just taking in the surroundings. He's not, used to being around this many people, or not having a place to go and hide, which is usually what he does.
I just mentioned Lyra and Lockie. I was like, oh, watch out for pickpockets.
Oh, do they steal your pockets?
Ah!
No, I'm kidding. I know what pickpockets are. Don't. Come on. We've had thieves in all eras.
Well, this is definitely one of those places, I'm afraid.
Lyra sticks her hands in her pockets.
Lockie takes out his mace.
Okay.
Actually, no. Lyra turns herself into a small yellow bird and perches on Lockie's shoulder.
Yeah.
She's basically the bird that Bastion has now. All right, we'll carry
Yes. Yes. I'm okay. Still takes out his mace, but it'll give Lyra a little scritch.
As you begin sort of walking through the streets wielding a mace, a number of people sort of stop and look at you and take a few steps back, giving you plenty of room.
As I walk over, I'm sorry, it's for the pickpockets. I apologize, it's not for you, it is for the pickpockets.
Are you?
You see a few of the humans nodding in approval of your of your protection. A couple of the half-elves sort of give you a bit of a confused look. Gnomes and dwarves just sort of push past you and don't give a shit. Halflings are too jovial to care. A few of the tieflings, seeing a warforged walking down the street wielding a mace, a number of the tieflings sort of pull back a little bit, give you a bit of a wide berth. Being on the opposite side of the war during the ruin and the betrayed gods for the first part before they betrayed the betrayed gods and sided with the prime deities. Warforged would have been deployed against them and their ancestors. Their racial memory for metal creatures holding weapons not so great, so they do tend to give you a bit of a wide berth.
Why are you stepping back? Are you a pickpocket?
No, just you're holding a very sharp mace there, sir.
It is not for you. It's for a pickpocket.
This is
If you're not a pickpocket, it's not for
purple
you.
skin tiefling. I've never picked a pocket in my life. You racist. Racist!
Then you don't need to worry about the mace. I'm just holding it. I don't
Says you.
understand.
That's what you say. I don't know you.
I don't know you either, but I'm trusting you're not a pickpocket.
I'm not a pickpocket. What would you say if I was a pickpocket? Would you hit me with that thing?
Yes. That's why I'm holding it.
Someone should get the guards here. There's vigilantes walking the streets.
Whoa,
She
whoa,
starts,
whoa.
like, backing off.
I sort of come in the middle. Hey,
Yeah.
it's okay. Take a deep breath. Just relax. Nothing's going on here. That's that
Okay.
sort of.
Yeah.
I'm not singing and dancing or anything. I'm just sort of like, no, this one
This is
is
not the
me.
road you're looking for.
This is not the Warforged that you're looking for.
Oh, this is not the Warforged I'm looking for. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Governor.
No, he's fine. He's harmless. He just had a bit of a malfunction after the war.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. He's got a mace. He's had malfunctions. What if he malfunctions and bops someone?
That mace is not as dangerous as it seems.
She nods and begins walking down the other side of the street, casting an occasional curious glance back at the strange group of people. A warforged, half-built, rusting, and sort of like a very old model. A very unique-looking dragonborn, half silver, half red, and then this prissy elf dancing around, going la 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 as he moves across the street. Yeah. Probably would draw a few stares.
I sort of step up to Lockie and go, maybe just put the mace away for now, friend. Pickpockets, you won't even know if you get pickpocketed. The mace won't do anything to them. They'll be long gone before you even realize.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So just put it away.
Okay.
Let's have a nice walk.
We appreciate it, but just keep an eye out. That's all. Not a literal eye. I've already got that. That's okay.
Yes, you've got mine.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'll put it away. And because for the mace is two interconnected gears, so when he puts
Nice.
it away, he actually just attaches it onto a section on the back of his shoulder blade, which then like tick 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 turns, and the
Yeah.
hand of the mace then swirls around, sort of clicks into his back, and so he holds
I'm
it.
gonna have to add that to your character art now. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well,
as it clicks away and then locks back in again.
Well, that's better. Thank you very much.
And at least
Now,
know that we're here now. That's good.
yes.
Pardon?
I'm sure that they're aware that we're in the city now.
That's what we wanted, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
Excellent.
Good job. Yes.
Lyra pats you on the head with her bird wing, as if to say, "Good job, Lockie."
Like it. Positive.
She twitters. Alrighty, yeah, you guys head through, passing through the Golden Falls village as you head north towards the Bright Bell Borough. You come across a large central park. Mira, you probably spent a couple of afternoons here having high tea functions as an attaché. Occasionally high tea functions would be at this park, which is known as the Bright Bell Park, or at the Empyrean Park, which is known as the Royal Gardens over near the Empyrean. These two locations are massive public parks areas. There are lots of parks scattered throughout Paelan, but these two are the ones that stand out. These are the most significant. As you pass through the rows of trees and grasses, you can see a number of the residents of Paelan City out enjoying a bit of sunshine in the early morning. A number of other political groups and attachés, like you used to be, having meetings in the open air. Nothing private or secret to discuss at these, just pleasantries, meetings of a cordial nature. Passing through one of the pavilions, Mira, you spy a delegation of Ganassi, air, fire, water, and earth Ganassi, all speaking with a very haggard, harrowed-looking human man, very pale skin, long, bony fingers, and this very sparse hair going,
"Yes, I heard your complaints. The minister is very sorry he can't meet with you today. His gout is awful."
And the earth Ganassi responds,
"His gout? That's not a good enough reason to refuse a meeting with us. It's taken us days to arrive here. The roads are full of bandits."
The water Ganassi puts a hand on his shoulder. "Others, it's fine. We shall simply find accommodation elsewhere and meet with him tomorrow. Will that suit the minister?"
"Well, the last time the minister's gout hit, it lasted for several months."
And with that, the fire Ganassi's hair explodes.
Months!
As you pass by. You continue on as the top of the pavilion catches fire. It's like very sort of purplish blue flames leaping out of the Ganassi's head as he he looks very unique for a fire Ganassi, not this bright red, more of a sort of a dark purplish red. As the roof of the pavilion begins to catch fire, the minister goes, "Oh dear." The attaché, sorry, the secretary for the minister goes,
Oh my, oh no, oh dear, oh gosh,
you pass on through. Not too long, Jin, before you lead them through the number of theatre districts, bars, cafes, nightclubs, and cabaret centres that mark the Bright Bell Borough. A suburb of performers, up-and-coming political members who need access to Castletown but don't quite have the political savvy, monetary and finances required, or luck to be able to live there just yet. You pass through... Yeah?
Would a lot of people know me as I pass? Would they be like, hey man, hey Lyrian, what's going on? I'm like, hey, is any of that sort?
You sound so desperate for it. Like a homeless dude's like, "Whoa, Illyrian dude, I've not seen you in ages." No. As you pass through this district, you would get there'd be a couple of people who you recognise by sight. But as you get closer to the Bard's College, that is where people begin to recognise you and know your name. You pass by a cafe that you probably would have frequented many, many times. You know it's one of Gloria's favourites. You can see that.
I don't go to that cafe often.
Do you not like Gloria?
No, I don't like Gloria.
Oh, I thought you guys got along.
No, she's a smart ass.
No,
She's a smart ass.
We get along.
funny.
Mira and Gloria get along pretty well.
I think it'd be funny if Jin and Gloria because actually no, she knew Emmerich. She didn't know Jin. So I think it'd be pretty funny if her and Jin sort of have like a rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that's pretty accurate for Gloria.
Have
She's
you
in a
seen
rivalry with everyone.
Yes, but have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
You know how Captain Holt and then other captain, the female captain,
yeah.
have like a really, I think it'd be really cool if
your lunch meat.
it'd be really cool if Jin and Gloria have like a to and fro like that.
Yep. Absolutely. I think that makes a lot of sense. I fucking love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Do I know Brooklyn 99? I literally shouted 99 before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I love Captain Holt and Wunch.
yeah. He is my
so
favorite. Holt is my favorite.
Oh, by far. Like, Jake Peralta is great, but Andy Sandberg's great, but
He's
No.
so good.
Captain Raymond Holt, absolutely the best.
Mhm.
Fuck, I'm gonna need to make him as a D&D character.
I
Yes,
am
as you guys.
Vince Payne.
Yeah, I'll make him the captain of the guard.
Just what do you think you're doing in my city?
Oh, that's fine. As you pass on through, as you approach the Bard's College, you can see a number of people who you do recognize, Jin, a number of bards who have been involved in courses and classwork that you've been with. Maybe some of them even in performances with you. You can see people coming and going. There'd be two people in particular that you recognize and would know quite well. There is a Goliath, this mountainous man with grey skin, intricate tattoos all over his body, that has... He's very well known for his work behind the scenes, but just recently, in the last year or so, it's turned out that he actually has a very good voice. So he has actually been narrating a number of the mummings. What they do is they get him to do the behind the scenes work, and then he comes out the front and actually narrates parts of the show. He has an incredibly nice voice. You know his name is Artis, Artas. And then he A-S, Artis. And you know that, and you can see him accompanied by his lifelong friend. The two of them are almost inseparable. Vox, who is a Air Ganassi female, who is very, very well known for her stunt work. She is incredibly good at stage combat and theatre work, so she often comes in as a stunt double for the really intense, crazy stunts that happen in some of the more intense circus groups. Cirque de Noctis, which is the circus of the night, performs midnight shows in the parks, and she is part of the Cirque de Noctis group.
Nice.
That's cool.
Thank you. The Cirque de Noctis. So yeah, you would recognise both of them, Vox and Artis, and they give you a bit of a wave. Vox going, "Oi! You've been gone for ages, Jin. Who's your friends there? You brought some... Have you guys gotten sick of hanging out with him yet? We got really sick of hanging out with him. What, 5 minutes, was it, Artis?
Would they actually know my name? Would they know I'm Jin?
Probably they'd know you as Illyrian. You're right. Yeah, sorry. That was
okay, sorry.
DM fail. Illyrian, it's been too long. How long have you guys been hanging out with him for? We found it 5 minutes, Artis? Was that enough? 5 minutes before we were sick of his ugly mug?
Yes, I believe it was maybe 2.5 minutes before we found him far too troubling to spend time with.
Oh, guys, come on now. You know I'm a bundle of fun. And then I try and trip her up. I know she's a stunt.
As in, try and trip her physically, knock her over.
Because I know she's a stunt work. She does stunts.
Yeah.
It's more of a playful thing.
Make me a acrobatics check.
It's a 10. It's not
10.
that great.
As you go to do a leg sweep, she leaps into the air about 10 feet into the air as she leaps and then lands on Artis' shoulders and does a ta-da. Yeah, you're going to have to get up a little bit earlier than that to get me, you little scamp. She blows a breath of air that rustles your hair.
It's very good to see you guys. It's been a very long time.
It has been a while. Are you not going to introduce us to your friends?
Yes.
Thespian. And he does a deep bow as he sees each of you. Yeah. So he would go, Artis, Thespian.
And then I look at the others and I go, and that one up there, that is Vox.
As Artis does a big bow, Vox gets knocked off, does a barrel roll, and comes up on her knees and goes, "Hi, I'm Vox. Nice to meet ya. How you lot doing?" Holds out a hand to shake your hands.
I'll take a hand. Hello.
I love your bird. Pretty little thing, eh?
This is my
Ali.
my friend Ali.
Lyra.
My brain is not
Ellie.
This is my friend.
Hey
Lyra.
She holds out a hand. She holds out a hand to jokingly shake the bird's hand. Lyra holds out a wing. And Vox, very surprised, shakes the bird's wing and goes, "Wow, you've got that thing well trained. Are you in the arts as well? Is that your act? Are you a double act? Two of you? That's pretty cool."
I am a robot.
Yeah, but you can be a robot and an actor. It's not exclusive.
You should actually see this. Look, when I play this song, this bird will dance. I start playing a tune. Does Lyra start dancing like we planned?
I want to roll a dice to see if Lyra's going to troll you. I'm going to roll a dice because it's too funny. Let me roll a dice. All right. I'm going to roll a wisdom check. If I get below 10, Lyra does not play with you.
I'm like winking.
8. You do think. You just see Lyra just sort of sits there preening her feathers and like looking away and occasionally chirping and pretending to be a bird. So you like start doing down. Wow, that's really impressive, that is. How long have you been working on that for, Illyrian? Gosh, you're blowing my mind with this stuff. I think the bird responds to the Warforged better than he does to you.
I will admit, it's been a new development.
Artist looks over and goes, that was without a doubt the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. And he slaps you on the back, jokingly, with a big smile on his face.
Thank you, artists. Thank you very much indeed.
Of course, I do have to exclude those slimy dogs from the Mummer's troop. They've been giving us trouble again. Bloody
yes.
mimes. I can't stand mimes. Creepy little things.
Yes, they're always sort of coming up against many types of different walls and many different types of unseen surfaces.
Where do they keep finding all these fucking invisible ropes? That's my question. Why is there always a strong wind blowing on them? What's going on, huh?
You know what my mother said, never trust a mime.
Oh, mate, I've been telling everybody that. Never trust a fucking mime. Pale white faces. Never trust anyone with white skin. That's what I've always said.
Jin's sort of laughing at that. Or Illyrian.
Yeah. With her bright blue skin, looks over at her friend who's got grey skin. Yeah, it's just a way to go, really. Just don't trust anyone with white skin. That's my impression. You turn around, they're likely to have formed an empire and conquered half the world. Gives a bit of a laugh.
Well, of course. Yes.
Yeah, well, look, I should be saving this material. We've actually been booked to do a bit of a political comedy.
Oh? And what
Yeah.
that involve?
She leans in really close. We got a bit of money to do a bit of a smear piece.
For?
Well, I can't say who for. I can't say who gave us the money.
Okay,
but I can
well,
tell
who
you,
against?
Oh, I can tell you who against. It's only... Oh, sorry. I just closed my notes. Fucking hell. I was trying to open them up really quickly so that I could do it.
Look, I understand that dramatic flair is nice and all, but to the point.
It's only the bloody Emerald Enclave. Delan Winterhound. We're supposed to play them like a bunch of like tree-hugging saps. Should be pretty fun.
Would I know who they are, Owen?
Make me a history check. You may or you may not. I want to see how much you know about them.
Okay. Not the best. Oh, nat 20.
Natural 20. I'm not the best at history checks. Rolls a natural 20.
Yeah.
Mira, you know a fair bit about the Emerald Enclave. You know that they are generally a collection of druids and other rangers. They tend to be less involved in civilization. They're more focused on protecting the wilderness. They're basically the Greens Party.
Okay.
Their focus is they're the Greens Party. Their focus is the natural world, preserving the balance, making sure that the ways of the old ways are not forgotten. That harmony with nature, like living in harmony with nature, is probably their biggest thing. That's what they're all about. You know that the current delegate from the Emerald Enclave to Paelan is Delan Winterhund, who is a half-elf ranger. You know that he is the current delegate from the Emerald Enclave, and he's been doing the rounds. He appears at most of the things, introducing bills and petitions for more green spaces in the city, better protection for those travelling outside its walls. He's not a huge fan of the wildlife preserve that's been set up just outside the city gates towards the north. That's currently being set up as a bit of a monster preserve. He is not a fan of the way that they have been acquiring monsters, which is basically just paying mercenaries to go and beat the shit out of any monster they find, drag them half dead back and chuck them in a cage. He's not a fan. He was actually looking to create a wildlife preserve to preserve some of the species of monster that are starting to go extinct in the land of Oshia and throughout the kingdom.
And with that, would I know who their enemies are, their main enemies?
Yeah, you know that they do not have a very, very good relationship with a number of members of the Lord's Alliance, particularly with Lord Daegort Neverember, who absolutely is of the opinion burn the forests in the fires of industry. He's basically Saruman when it comes to the natural world. He's
Right.
just yeah. So in this, for this analogy, the Emerald Enclave of the Ents, Lord Daegort is Saruman. Just wants to cut down the trees, burn them all for the fires of industry. His main focus is progress and industrialization of the city.
Awesome.
There's also a bit of a conflict of interest. Lord Daegort owns a number of smelteries, refineries, and factories throughout the city. So there's a bit of a financial interest there as well for him. It's not just ideology. It's lining his own pockets.
Okay. All right. I just nod sagely at that. At the what this.
Yeah.
Talking about. Yeah. Me, my natural twin, will just nod.
Yeah.
We've been paying a fair bit of money to do a bit of a smear campaign against the Emerald Enclave, make them look like a bunch of tree-hugging hippies. Make it sound like their policies have got no merit. It's a bit of a shame. I actually quite like them. I often vote for their stuff.
Ah, so you must be getting paid quite a bit of coin then.
Well, that's the thing where...
She looks over at Artis.
We're really struggling to know whether or not we should take the job. We haven't actually said yes yet.
Yes, I feel that perhaps it is not worth risking our eternal souls to get a little bit of coin, but then again, I could use a new bed. My current one is full of bedbugs.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of spending money. What do you think? You've done the rounds, you've lived the life. Do you reckon it's worth going against our ideology for this?
I always say, follow your heart, not the coin. The coin will come, but following your heart and remaining true to yourself is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. Artis?
Yes, I agree with my dear friend Illyrian. I think perhaps we should say no. We should tell them to shove it where the sun doth not shine.
I probably won't go that far. Let's just say no gently, hey?
You know what we could do? We could do our own smear campaign against your benefactor.
Oh shit. Oh, that's devious, that is.
Illyrian, I have missed you, my friend. That is fucking genius. So we say yes, take the money, and then do the smear campaign against them? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, but just make sure that they're not, well, a powerful, what's the word? Presence.
Oh shit. Nah, they're pretty fucking powerful, mate.
Because maybe bedbugs would be the least of your concerns.
Yeah, they do have the ability to throw us in prison. Maybe not then. Maybe we just let it go. Just say no.
Even
just say no.
if my remark has piqued your interest, I would suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
But
I think we say no. I think we say no gently. No gently.
But I will
gently.
admit, it would be
It also depends.
hilarious.
It also depends how subtle your message is. If you deliver a message that seems like you're towing the line that he wants you to, but really, the people that know what you're talking about know that you're... I don't know. I'm not...
Well,
but it
Lockie,
seems-
now that you bring that up, you are a very... What's the word? You're a very subtle guy. What would you, suggest?
Well, if you take a stance of your benefactor, is that the word we're using? If you take a stance of your benefactor and then find some kind of personal shame of his own, you could work that into a story or a... I don't know how you people work, a story or a song. Use songs.
Caricature.
Caricature. Oh.
Yeah, we were going to do a bit of a play, but I quite like the idea of taking down this fucker, take him down a peg. He thinks he's so fucking smart. Could really shove him up the old wazoo, eh?
You know what? Then sign me up. I would love to be a part of this.
All right. Well, I think Artis, we need to probably go do some writing, hey? Probably should write down these ideas and get started.
Yes, I have a number of ideas I've been working on already since we were first offered the deal. I often do this about people I meet who I don't like. I come up with ways that I would shame and humiliate them in public. Don't you guys do that? As he looks across at each of you.
I'm just nodding like enthusiastically.
Yes. Illyrian gets it. Of course you do. Yes. Fantastic. Well, Vox, shall we?
He holds out his hand.
Yeah, all right, let's go. I think we should probably head to the library. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of research, and probably would be worth seeing if we can find one of the Harpers, get them to do a bit of spying for us, maybe. Give us any dirt. What? Yeah, what? What? Why are you coughing? Have you got?
I might be able to help you with that.
Oh, we've never believed you're a member of the Harpers. You fucking go on about it every time, but I don't believe it for a second. There's no way a secret society of spies in the Bard's College would recruit you, Illyrian. you're like, nah, not happening. Don't believe it.
As he starts doing that, I sort of start dancing around Vox.
Do you know what I have
playing a
heard, though?
tune.
You know that. Yeah, what's her face? The lecturer who no one likes, Gloria. I've heard rumours she's involved.
Yes.
Gloria, is she here?
Yeah. She's taking a class right now.
Still?
Yeah, she's taking a class.
Why has no one booted her off? No one likes her.
That's why we think she must be a member of the Harpers, mate. No one can get rid of her. She should have been gone years ago. What's she got, huh? Has to be some sort of power. Member of the Harpers, I'm calling it now.
She is nothing. She's a spiteful woman. And small.
You do have to admit that some of her ballads have earned her a fair bit of coin.
She stole
Not
those
my
ballads, I
taste.
think. Probably. Somewhere. Probably stole them.
Well,
Probably.
that's a very heavy accusation, Illyrian. Can you back that up with any evidence? In our profession, accusing someone of
I just sort
plagiarism-
of look away, and I just look like
I
shitty.
didn't think so.
I just sort of start huffing. I'm not huffing puffing. I'm just sort of like,
Vox sort of goes over, wipes a finger on the back of your tunic, and licks it and goes,
Tastes like a bit of salt, doesn't it? Bit of salty. Bit of a salty boy.
I sort of shove her, like, no, playfully.
play for yourself away.
All right. I'm backing
Come
off.
on.
I'm backing off.
Ah, Gloria.
We better go get to work on this smear play. We'll let you know how we go, hey? If you're still keen to be involved.
Yes, let me know. I'm very interested to see how that could play out.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep you posted. Where we gotta find you? Are you coming back into state your residence? On the Bard's College? You can take the guest residence, or have you got your own place here in Paelan?
No, I will be at the Bard's College. But there might be a few things happening that might draw my attention. Leave
All
a
right,
message with the
too
Bard's
big for his
College,
boots. Can't tell us what's going on. Oh, too important for the
I
likes of
wink.
Vox
I
and
wink
Artis.
at. I wink at her and I go, Harper's business.
Oh, fuck off, mate. You're not part of the Harpers. No one believes it.
I just start laughing.
She looks over at you, Mira.
He's not part of the Harpers, is he?
Let's just say I would recommend keeping out of politics altogether. It's run by clowns, and she looks back at
Artist.
at Jin
Oh, yes.
significantly.
Yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe we could do something with that, make this person look like a bit of a clown. Yeah, look, we'll get right. We'll leave you guys to it. Catch you later, Lyrian. Good to see you again, mate. Lovely to meet you, Mira, Lockie, and your lovely bird.
Gives a sort of bow, does a backflip onto the back of Artis's shoulders, and then starts slapping his head. All right, come on, big guy. Come on.
Lovely to meet you, my lady. Gives you a bow. Lovely to meet you. We shall see you again, Illyrian. You know where to find us. We're just on the campus grounds. Gives a salute and then starts wandering away.
As they sort of go, I'm like, farewell, friends.
That's putting a bit far, isn't it?
Start walking
And then as she gets further away, all she hears is, fuck you.
Yeah, she just gives a middle finger back up over the top of the head.
Actually, it'd be
without
more
turning
like
around.
a fuck you, but like in a melody sort of like song format.
Fuck you. Toss a coin to your
Fuck you. Yeah, so that's.
That was aggressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it's probably a bit far. Yeah, you guys carry on inside the Bard's College. The Bard's College, as you enter, for those of you who are seeing it for the first time, the entrance is stunning. It looks very similar to Oxford College in England. Incredibly detailed stonework with intricate designs, reliefs across the main entrance. Massive double doors with wrought iron and these large stained timber bars. And you can see the emblem of the Bard's College, which is the flute making up the neck of a lute, and then actually if you look up at Gloria's artwork right above me, you'll see it's embroidered on her chest tunic. That was well timed again. The artwork's been really helping me out tonight. And then so a lute with the neck of the lute is a flute, and then there is a large sort of riff coming around the side of just sort of general magic energy moving across it. You can see that the colours of the Bard's College, this beautiful turquoise with these silver and gold embroidered borders around the sides. And as you enter in the large double doors, you can see a number of troubadours, a number of bards and other performers and actors moving through in and out of the massive library full of scrolls containing, it is rumoured, every single piece of theatre to have ever been created. The massive library connected to the Bard's College, and you know that in the Undercroft they keep the band music and band plays, the performances that are too dangerous for mortals to hear or to witness, down in the Forbidden Library, the Lost Archives below. Roll credits. So the Bard's College is absolutely stunning. The main hall, Jin, as you sort of lead them through the main hall, you know that your goal is to head right through the back of the main hall, head across towards the campus where a number of the classes are being taught, and there is a door towards the left that looks like it is just an old abandoned classroom. It is in fact the entrance to the secret hideout of the Harpers, who operate within the Bard's College, a secret society within the Bard's College.
As I sort of get us into that area, I sort of say under my breath, not a member of the Bard, the Harper's Hay. Just sort of like...
just to yourself.
Just sort of talking to myself, like muttering like, yeah, not a part of the Bard, the Harper's Hay.
Don't taste salty, you taste salty.
Oh, I just wish Vox is here right now.
Those people, they were friends of yours?
Yes, no. Very good friends. From way back in the day.
Really? Because they did not seem like they were very friendly.
Lockie, I pull you aside. That is what's called sarcasm.
I see. Was that good?
You know when I said that you were a very subtle person, I was being sarcastic because you are very literal.
Oh, you weren't paying me a compliment.
Oh.
Well, you have many... No, Lockie, you have many strengths. But subtlety is not one of them, unfortunately. However, you have many strengths.
Thank you.
Name them.
Well, look, Lockie, a prime example is walking around brandishing a mace and scaring people. That is not subtlety.
Oh, right.
No. I was demonstrating subtlety. Your many strengths, you know the ins and outs of gears and metalwork and all that sort of stuff. You kept that castle running for years on your own. You have many merits, and your literalness and your honesty is, well, refreshing.
Why, thank you.
But subtlety is not one of them.
No, I would need...
Come on, chat, and I walk off.
Just while he's trying to talk to you, just start walking away.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
It is fine. I think we need to be somewhere, do we not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. As you pass through the campus college, through the college campus, you can see out in the green there are a number of people. There is a white-haired gentleman with two swords strapped to his back, looking through what looks to be a large bestiary. You can see a number of sketches and artwork. Next to him, a foppish man dressed in red leathers and travelling gear is playing a tune on his lute, going, "Toss a coin to your witcher, damn it, Yaskier." Says the white-haired figure. Damn it, Yaskier. Fuck.
Toss a
Can't
coin
let me
to the
focus.
Witcher.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Witcher recently. As you pass through the area, that's just sort of a hint you see in the castle grounds. You also see a group of humans, half-elves, and a furbolg playing hacky sack with a leather pouch, singing as they do it, and the hacky sack is to the beat of the song, and so there's an extra level of challenge where they have to keep the song in time to the hacky sack kicks. So if they kick it too high, it slows down the beat of the song, so it's an extra level of
oh my god, I'm going to join it.
Challenge. You would know this game is called Tune Deep, where you basically have to maintain the tune while you're playing the hacky sack.
I'm going to try and play it for a little bit. I don't want to take away too much from the session.
as you're like leading these people towards the Harper's secret society to deliver like the possibly world-ending news, you just see these people playing hacky sack. You're like, "Fuck yes!" You sprint across the college grounds.
My favorite
Walk.
game.
As you sprint across the college grounds, you can see a couple of them go, "Hey, you joining in, bro?"
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
The
play.
Furbo goes, "Whoa, dude, your aura is so red right now."
And I sort of go, whoa, dude, like, it's totally not. I just want to play a game. I'm just being,
Yeah, I
like,
could tell
totally, like,
that.
rad right now.
I could see that you needed to de-stress with some deep tune. And he kicks the ball towards you.
Yeah, I'm just going to play. Let's just do
Make
some good
me
rolls.
make me a
Yeah.
performance check and an acrobatics check.
All right. Oh, my God.
26 for the performance.
Wow.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. You didn't attend like 80% of your classes. You just played this game on the castle grounds for like most of your student years. During your time at the Bard's College, you literally just played this game for like 4 years.
Did
when
I
you were
become
supposed
a
to be
bit of a
completing...
legend in the hacky sack?
Yeah.
circles?
It's Illyrian. It's the chosen one. He's returned.
After spending your entire Bachelor of Fine Arts just playing hacky sack,
Hey.
tune deep. I'm not saying no. That's not what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to be attending classes. I'm just saying what Illyrian chose to do, which is spend his entire Bachelor of Fine Arts playing hacky sack. He scraped through with a bare pass.
Yeah.
He took his masters a bit more seriously, but his bachelor's Illyrian did not take seriously. Clearly, he was just playing hacky sack. Like you got a bit of a reputation. You were known as the ball master during your time here, or the sack master.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, ball
master.
Sack master, the sack master. Yeah, you were known as the sack master.
I like
And
the
as
chosen
you-
one more.
As you begin like showing off and kicking it around and doing these flourishes and leading the tune, you draw a bit of a crowd and people are starting to cheer. You hear a few whispers like, "Oh my god, it's the sack master. He's returned." Does this mean Gloria's going to be kicked off campus? It said when the Sackmaster returns, Gloria will be fined.
As I hear Gloria, can I hear
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
My passive perception is 16.
You hear them. Absolutely.
As I hear them, I look at them and I give them this stern look, like a dragon turning towards its prey.
Okay.
Don't think of Gloria.
It's true. He hates her. The rumors are true. It's the
See if
rivalry
Gloria
for the
could do
ages.
this, and then I do like a cool double backflip or something.
Yeah, you do. With an acrobatics of 22, you just do it. You do a double backflip and kick it down into the ground, into the center of the thing, and end the song on that beat. Everyone explodes into applause, and you feel like a true hero. You feel like this. Like, never in your life have you felt a moment of such heroics as when you mastered hacky sack.
I start doing flourishes, and I start like thanking the crowd, and then I sort
absolutely.
of start departing from the hacky sack.
Mira,
okay.
Lockie, and Lyra at this point are sort of standing near this white-haired figure, looking through his bestiary, while the bard sort of dances around him, sort of playing around, going,
No, that's not quite right. Maybe if I toss a coin to your witcher. That's not quite right either. Maybe Valley of Plenty.
As I walk past from the hacky sack, I toss him a coin.
"Oh no, this is why you're doing hacky sack.
Oh, okay. I was gonna.
Why are you
I
doing
was
this?
gonna- okay.
Mira and Lockie, what are you guys doing?
I'm watching this. I'm like, is he keeping up with the beat or the tempo? Because both of those are very. What's?
He's keeping
Is
up
this
with
some
both.
kind of meeting display? I am so confused.
Actually, do you know what? With a performance of 26 and an acrobatics of 22, probably you do summon some eldritch creature associated with
Whoa.
music. Do I know any eldritch creatures associated with music?
Oh,
Claire,
no.
can you think of any?
Oh, no.
Can you think of any eldritch creatures associated with music that I know? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. You know it as well.
Which one?
Well, hello there, baby.
Syncope.
It's been too long.
Oh no!
What is syncope?
No.
A tall figure with dark skin and a large top hat in a very elegant suit sort of walks up next to you, Mira, and watches as Illyrian starts doing this hacky sack.
His sense of timing and rhythm is absolutely perfect. What say you, my friends? Do you appreciate the musical arts?
Mira is not the most musical person,
Wait,
but
this is
she'll
actually
turn to the
happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
yeah, it seemed to be. She'll turn to the tall figure and go, "Ah, yes, it's quite good." And she'll get a glimpse of this guy and be like, Oh god, I'm gonna go over here.
looks like a human man, 6'2", very dark black skin, large top hat with a very fancy suit. Mira, can you make me a quick perception check as you sort of look at him?
Deception.
Perception.
Oh, perception. Okay.
Perception.
Perception.
Boilet mark.
3.
3.
Can I give a
It
flash?
seems like a. You can give a flash of genius. Of course you can.
That's only plus 4.
Ah, it's only plus 4 to 7.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Do you still want to do it?
Nah.
Mira, I'm going to be nice and allow you to not do it. Mira, as you sort of look at this figure, you think, wow, like this guy is quite a handsome-looking man. Looks like a human dressed in a suit. Maybe some member of the nobility, perhaps. He sort of taps his feet along to the beat. That is lovely. He sort of taps along. After a few moments, just walks off and heads in another direction.
Oh man.
Well,
There are a lot of strange people in this area.
it's one of those places. The Bard's College.
yeah.
It's not somewhere I've been very often, I must say.
Yeah, you see, Mira, as you say that, you see a group of mimes walking across the campus over towards the far building. As they emerge, a number of the students begin pelting them with eggs and fruit. Going, get out of here, you mimes! Fuck off!
Oh my
They
god.
start pelting the mimes. The mimes begin running and then just collide with some invisible wall, fall to the ground. The other students like, it's not fucking funny, go away!
Fuck.
As the mimes begin sort of like doing this incredible like display of struggling to run away from all the fruit that's being thrown at them. What would surprise you? Anyone who's got a passive perception above 10, as a tomato flies across towards one of the mimes, they hold up their hands against an invisible wall. The tomato splatters against an invisible wall and drops to the ground.
That's cool.
And the mime starts like hitting against the wall, banging as if they're in like a small cage and they can't escape. Yeah, you see the students then begin running towards them with like pulling out lutes and flutes and things like that, ready to start beating them, and the mimes begin making a hasty retreat back into the other side of the campus, away from the main thoroughfare.
Oh man, that's funny.
The Furbolg's like, fucking mimes, dude. It's not even performance, it's just creepy. You know they eat children. I heard they eat children.
Okay,
What is this place?
my friend. This is
I don't
hard.
know. I don't know why they allow them on campus. It's just weird. You know that they can't come out in daylight without burning to death. No, that's vampires. We just saw them in daylight. I'm getting confused. What's the difference between mimes and vampires again? Oh, that's right. Mimes suck fun. Yeah, I forget.
Everyone just hates the mimes.
Yeah. Cool. What would you like to do, Lyra? You said you were heading back.
Oh yeah, I'll head back after the cheers and the applauses, and I'll do, like I said, some flourishes and thank the crowd, and I'll start sort of walking back to our group. As I walk past the guy still trying to do the toss a coin to you, which I toss him a gold coin. I toss him a silver coin, and I'll go. I've heard this so many times. Every time I'm at the Bard's College, you're always here. Here, just have your freaking coin.
Oh, thank you. He does a flourish about. Geralt, look, I got a coin. Fuck off, Yaskier.
Fucking.
Piss off, Yaskier. Piss off, Bard. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm assuming you now lead them towards the plot.
So I'll sort of come back. I'll sort of come back, and I'll be like, I'll sort of clap and go, well,
Yeah.
Shall we continue? That was a fun little escapade, event transpired. Amazing. Shall we continue?
I have so very many questions, but yes, let us continue.
Oh? Like what?
Can I actually ask, while this has all been happening, just kind of the rapport between Jin slash
Illyrian.
I always forget all your names, and the students. Like, does he really have that sort of standing? Because I'm just trying to
There's definitely definitely charisma there.
Yeah,
The students definitely, a number of the students do seem to sort of look up, and as you hear them whisper about the Sackmaster returning, you get the sense that possibly, like in his time as a student, his skills with the hacky sack were deified somewhat, and so it's not that he's like personally like very friendly with them. It's more of like those school legends that persist for years and years and years, and suddenly that person's back on the school grounds. You're like, oh my god, it's them! It's the person who set up a couch in the wetlands behind the school. They had a TV set up with a 16-meter extension cable running from the back of the design technology labs. They had a TV in the wetlands.
That's very specific.
That didn't happen to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mira just kind of turns to Illyrian and just says, "So, is this your favourite form? This seems to be most who you are."
I sort of look around quickly to see if anyone's looking first.
Oh yeah, I'm not being subtle. I'm not being.
I might actually do a quick perception check to make sure that there's no potential prying. Oh my god, I am clueless.
Natural 1. It's a total of 7. As you look around, no, you don't see anyone of interest.
It's 7.
No
It's
one's
not
close
as horrible, I guess.
You by yourself.
Yeah. So I sort of look around and look at Mira and go, well, this is the form I have most fun with. I have a lot of fun. There's a lot of things I can do. I can live my life to the fullest and have the most, fun.
I can see why you'd like this life.
Yes. It is a bit different from my other life. And as I say this, I sort of look off into the distance like I'm caught in some other, memory. Yes.
As that happens, Mira, you feel a hand on your shoulder and an arm around your neck as a purple-skinned hand emerges to the right of your peripheral vision. As you turn and look, you see a very familiar face. Light purple skin, curved horns with rings embedded into the keratin, dressed in very elegant, fine robes that are light and loose and allow for movement, is a female tiefling. Sorceress stands there, arm across your shoulders.
Well, hello, Mira. It's been a bit of time since I last saw you. How's everything going?
I jump. Like, what?
Apologies, Mira. Apologies. Oh, and you've got some new friends with you. I didn't know you hung out with Illyrian.
It's lovely to see you.
Illyrian?
Oh, insight check. What's going on there?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, actually.
Hello.
Why
Yeah,
not?
go on,
Okay.
make an insight check. Yeah, go on, make an insight
I'll
check.
do
Go
that
on.
with a flirtatious
18.
remark then.
Yeah. There's
18.
there's a history there. 18. There's a history there.
Let's go
Absolutely.
with that. I didn't
there's a
plan
history
on
there.
that, but we'll do that.
Yeah. There's.
I think you know each other then?
I'll actually add
Yes.
to that a little bit with an 18 Mira. When she says the name Illyrian, there's definitely a bit of a coy thing there. But when she's looking him up and down, she doesn't seem to be liking immensely what she's seeing. Almost as if she's not as impressed with how he looks
Okay.
at the moment.
Okay.
He would actually. Would she know about Jin?
Yes, she would absolutely. As a member of the Harpers, yeah, she knows
Perfect.
about Jin, and she
'Cause I don't-
specifically prefers your female form as Jin.
A female form.
Yeah, when you take on the appearance of a female.
Oh right, because actually, Jin. I don't even know if changelings have a proper gender.
No, you don't. You're
No,
I
gender.
don't know how that works.
You don't have a gender in your changeling form.
Right, so she just prefers any form that I'm in that's female.
Oh, there'd be 1 or 2 forms in particular that you guys had a bit of fun with a while ago, but she much prefers your
okay.
female forms. In
Let's
your
just
student
quickly-
days.
Okay, I'll just send you a message. And
Okay,
this
go
will
for
be
it.
the one that she.
Done.
Yeah, keep going anyway.
Yeah. well,
Hello.
Yeah, it's just you must know each other. You colleagues then?
Oh, colleagues, yes. We've known each other for quite some time, haven't we, Illyrian?
Yes, it has been quite a long time. Yet again, it's lovely to see you.
Of course. Lovely to... Well, it's nice to see you, Illyrian.
She looks you up and down again. She looks over at Lockie.
And who is this? It's not often I meet someone and I know absolutely nothing about them. I tried to do a bit of research before you arrived here once I had word of your coming. Allow me to express my genuine surprise, I have no idea who you are or where you're from. It's a rare thing for the Harpers to not find any information on an individual.
I am a mystery wrapped in history. Did that right? Was that good?
That was good. It's wearing on you.
Very nicely done. I take it you're here to join the Bards College, then? From the sounds of it.
I don't know.
Error. Does not compute.
He's with us.
Of course. And your friend who was with you before, the elf druid, I believe. That'd be her on your shoulder there. Pleasure to meet you, Lyra. She holds out a hand to shake your hand. Again, not very often I can't find much information on a person, but I did find reference to your name in a group of druids, a circle, who vanished mysteriously before the ruin. I'm hoping you can tell me a little bit about that. We're hoping to fill in that missing gap of our history at some point.
News?
Lyra's just very interesting. Well, better not stand outside playing hacky sack all day. I think we need to head inside and discuss what you found. Last I spoke to you, you were headed to investigate where the treasure, the hoard, had been taken. I imagine you've been successful in your quest.
I sort of bring out the bag of holding, and I just sort of shake it and go, "Yes, it's in here." And I do it very matter of fact, like this little bag is holding this vast amount of treasure. I don't know if she knows about.
Looks like you've picked up another little trinket on your journey. Very nicely done. I do know about Bag of Holdings, Lyra. You can purchase them here in the city. It's not that of a rare item.
Also,
let's not get too carried away.
There is also 120 pastries in here.
Oh,
Would you like one?
I would love one. Do you have any apple tarts?
I start rummaging through the bag
You know that you do. Yeah,
to find an apple tart.
yeah you just,
And
you
I
just
bring
think
it
apple
out.
tart and reach in. Yeah.
And I go, yeah, perfect. And I sort of dust it off if there's any dust, and I hand it to Susurrus.
Thank you very much. Oh, thank you.
She takes a bite.
Bit cold, but otherwise quite nice. Why did they put raisins in this? I just wanted an apple tart. Do you have any without raisins?
Oh, yes, okay. And I start rummaging through
reach
again
in and
to
pull out
find an
another
apple
one.
tart that doesn't have raisins.
She just drops that one on the ground.
Much better, thank you.
Takes a bite of this one.
Much better. Well, come with me. We better talk somewhere a little bit more private. I'll take you to my classroom.
Perfect. I sort of gesture for her to lead the way.
Yeah, she leads you back down into the corridors towards the classroom where you know that the Harper's secret entrance is. A few doors down from that, you see on the door is the name Susurrus, and it says underneath History of Oshia. Please make yourselves at home. As she opens the classroom door, you can see a number of desks and chairs, a large blackboard behind with chalk hovering in front of it, about 5 feet off the ground, just hovering in front of this blackboard. And she gestures you in and towards the seats, and then sits on the edge of the desk, legs sort of crossed in front, and goes, "Right, well, now that we've got a bit of privacy, how did you go? You found the hoard. Where was it?"
Well, you would remember that I sent you that message.
Oh yes, something about an airship crashing, or a castle, an air castle crashing. We had reports that a sky giant's castle that had thought to have been lost for the last 200 years came crashing out of the sky. You didn't have anything to do with that, did you, naughty boy?
Well, of course. You know me very well. I always get up to everything that
Absolutely.
involves a little bit of mischief.
Now, Mira, gave you some lessons in spying. How did you go? Your infiltration was successful?
Yes, and she brings up like this whole like organized pile of notes.
Oh my
I've
goodness.
done a report.
Oh, wonderful, Mira. I knew I could count on you to get the paperwork in order. Fantastic. How was the disguise as a black dragon? Did it fool most of the members of the cult?
Not significantly, no. It's going to be a bit of an issue if we intend to continue.
Might have to find another way to keep your appearance disguised. Well, well, well. Please, tell me everything you've learned.
And that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh, cool.
Fair enough.
I think that's a really good cliffhanger ending. And I'll do a quick recap at the beginning of the next session with what you've learned, so that you guys don't have to go through and explain it to her. And that way we can update the podcast listeners and the viewers as well. I think that makes a lot of sense to combine those together into one thing.
Cool.
Or maybe I'll start next session with, so you're telling me, and then she does a recap of what you've said. I like that. I'm going to do that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. That is where we'll wrap up for tonight. Thank you. I know it's not our normal night, but thank you everybody who came and joined us on this Thursday night instead. We will be back next Wednesday at our usual time of 7:30, so we will see you all then. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you to the wonderful players who joined me here tonight. Unfortunately, Ali wasn't able to make it last minute, so I covered for her tonight. I hope I did a good job, and hopefully she didn't yell at me for the portrayal of her character. I tried to do my best Lyra. Lucky I haven't had to do Azure or Wiltix for a while, because I sort of I've got an idea of how Azure sounds in my head, and I'm actually not sure if that's how he sounds anymore. Ah, wonderful! Yes, that's brilliant. That's just how he sounds.
Not
in my
too
head.
bad.
Andrew.
Just Andrew. Yeah, it's just Andrew. It's not roleplay, it's just Andrew. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We will see you all again next time. Stay safe, stay well, and farewell.
See everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
Goodbye, everybody.